Welcome back to another episode of Dan's Garage. Today we are going to try to fix Project Cutty's belt chucking problem. And we're going to get serious today. We're going to switch to a serpentine belt from that old V belt. Try to keep it on a little better. So, let's get started. Alright, first we're going to get this belt off. So, I'll get my wrench, my 1/2 inch. Mine happens to be. And loosen up the alternator to get the belt off. And hopefully after this is all said and done, I won't have to mess with this ever again. This will be about the 200th time I had to mess with this belt. There we go. Ditch that. Won't need that anymore. Now we're going to have to get that crank pulley off. Now on the crank pulley, there's one big one, which happens to be 5/8, big bolt, and then these outer ones, which are 9/16. So we get our 5/8, get her going loosen, and hopefully this will just come off. Oh, there we go. Come on out of there. So there's your big crank bolt. Then we'll switch out our 5/8 to a 9/16. The 3 smaller bolts. I can locate them. There they are. Oh. No. Oh. Alright. There's one. Get him out of there. One. We got 3 of them. Next guys. Oh. Holy moly! Well, that guy doesn't want to come out there. Alright, well, let's try this guy. He didn't have any issues. There's him. Now we got this problem child right over here. Oh. Alright. Only one thing to do when that happens. Well, when you got a stubborn bolt that just does not want to come out, all you gotta do, give her just a wee bit of motivation. So we'll get our wrench down here. Right about there. You get your big long extender right on that wrench. Oh, like butter. There. Sometimes you just gotta show them who's boss. Sometimes they think they're the boss, and they will be if you don't tell them otherwise. These are filthy. We're gonna have to clean those up. But then theoretically, this guy should just kind of pop off here. Just like that. Alright, for this side what you got is you got an Allen screw that you fit in here. Then you gotta get this big guy. It's a 15/16 that actually fits right on the nut. So you get your Allen, you get your 15/16, lefty loosey righty tighty, and you might want to even get an extension on your Allen. Then you just like that, loosen her up. So we'll take this nut off. Pulley just comes off, just like that. Now our pulley came with a new nut and new lock washer. So we'll just simply slide the new guy on, slide the locking nut, our new bolt, get your big guy back on, get your Allen back on, and just tighten her up. This way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. It's backwards in this situation. Problems. Ooh. I don't have a wrench that's gonna get in there, do I? Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna need a socket. Alright, well I got my socket. The unfortunate bit is, though, I don't know how I'm going to tighten it while keeping, this might work. That's tightening. I don't need this giant extension on here. How long is that thinking? Okay. Yeah, so I need to find a way to actually tighten this bad boy. Kind of, sort of. This is the reality of working on an old modified car. Sometimes you just gotta get her done somehow. Whew. Alright, now we gotta install this guy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just get one bolt threaded through there and then match him up there. Good. Get my third one started. Good. Now we'll torque down our big guy. So let's get our 5/8 back on. We're going to tighten up the center one so that hopefully it will pull this pulley onto the center. Now we'll tighten up the 3 outer bolts. Okay, so now what we gotta do is we gotta look at our alignment and see where we need to move this alternator, in or out. Alright, using our persuader, we got him flush on 2 sides of the crank pulley. And it looks like we need to come out approximately the same distance as those 2 washers. So we'll take those washers off and move them on this side of the alternator to push the alternator out, and then we'll look at our alignment once again when that's done. Anytime you're messing with your alternator, you have to disconnect that battery, the negative side of the battery, because while I'm over here messing around with this and I accidentally touch that red wire to this head, that is a ground. You're grounding positive to negative, and you are gonna throw sparks like it's the 4th of July with your hands there. So always disconnect your battery whenever you're working on anything electrical, because you could touch a positive to a ground like that. Okay, now that we moved those washers to the other side of the alternator tab, it looks like we are fairly close to being exact. I would say that is good enough to give her a test run. So let's get the belt let's get our new belt on there and take it for a spin, or fire it up and see if it's working. Once you know it, the size I picked was way too long. And well, that's because, which I knew, but I didn't know. I knew, but I forgot. This pulley is actually a lot smaller than the old pulley was. So that, combined with, I'm not sure the difference on those two pulleys, if there was any. Let's find out. Yeah, that pulley's smaller too. So with the two pulleys being smaller, oh yeah, by a lot, I got the wrong size. But that's okay. We will just, we'll take one of our, a string, run it around, so we know the length we need. We'll go get a new one. But since we can't take this, I guess we're gonna have to take the old Project Mustang. Alright, so we got our string, the length of the pulleys, or the length of the belt we need. We just wrap this around both pulleys and cut it off where they meet. Now we know. And you can skip ahead on this part, but I figured, why don't we just show you the drive to the auto parts store. I'll mount you right here. Alright, let's get going. Get buckled up here. Anytime you work on a project, you are going to have to go to the auto parts store. You just have to factor that amount of time into, you know, whatever you're trying to do. You're never gonna get something done without having to go, you know. But this is kind of the fun of it. You go, you get the part, you go back, you see if you can get it working, you know. If everything works as it's supposed to every time you do it, it wouldn't be any fun. Especially on a nice day like this. Going out cruising, getting parts. much nicer on Project Mustang than it is on Project Cutty. And here we are. Got my receipt, got my old one that don't fit. Time to go get the one that does. Still on after that, so that's good. Well, she is still on there, so I believe that is a success. And keep you posted, tell you if it ever comes off. And well, that was fixing Project Cutty's belt throwing problem, hopefully. And we'll see you on the next one.